Hey, it's Dan. Let's do some math. Do me a favor, like and subscribe, hit all the buttons. Let's go.
Let's consider this problem. So let's talk about ACT scores. Let's suppose that the mean is 21. So mu is 21. The standard deviation, sigma, is 5.4. So the average score on the test is 21, and the average amount each score differs from that mean is about 5.4. So the first question is, what is the z-score for an ACT of 20? So you use this formula. So the z-score is equal to the value, the score of 20, minus the mean, which is 21, divided by 5.4. So if you plug that in here, you get this. So that's the z-score for that. So that's question A. So what is the z-score for an ACT of 20? You just plug 20 into this formula. So 20 minus 21 divided by 5.4 is negative 0.18518. So the next question is, well, what is the probability of getting an ACT score that's less than or equal to 20? So I wrote it like this. So for that, what we do is we look up this value in our chart and see what the percentage is. So if I come over here to the book, I'm looking up negative 0.18518. So negative 0.1 is right there, and I'm gonna go over to the 0.09. 0.09, see that up at the top? So my value is 0.4247. So the reason I'm doing that is that rounds closer to negative 0.19 because it's negative 0.185. So my score is going to be closer to this or maybe in between these two values. So this is a pretty good estimate. So that means that there's a 42.47% chance. So what I'm doing is I'm changing that from a decimal to a percent. You move the decimal 2 places to the right and you add a percent sign. So that's that part. The next question is, what's the probability of getting a score in between 21 and 26.4? So what you do is you do the same calculation for 21 using this over here. So 21 minus 21 over 5.4. So a score 21 is what we're putting in for X. And the mean was 21 and the standard deviation was 5.4. Well, if you do this math, you get 0. Now we're going to do it for 26.4. So 26.4 minus the mean or the average divided by 5.4 ends up being 1. So what we do is we look up in the chart these values. So if you look up 0, you get 0.5 in that chart in the front of the book. So over here. So if you look up 0, you get 0.5. So that's that one. So z-score is 0, gave you 0.5. And then you look this up, or look 1 up. If you look 1 up, you get this. So if I look 1 up, 1 is over here. There's 1, 1.0, 0.8413. So I have these two values, and when it's between, what you do is you subtract those values. So this minus that is this, and as a percent, it's 34.13%. So that's pretty easy. That's what you do there. And then the next question on this multifaceted question was, what's the probability of getting a score that's greater than 30? So again, you use this formula, you put 30 in there, 30 minus 21 divided by 5.4 gives you a z-score of 1.6 repeating. And if you look that up, you get this value. And whenever it's greater than, you always do 1 minus whatever this value is. So my z-score up here was 1.6 repeating. I looked that up in the chart over here, and it gave me this value. And because I'm doing greater than, I'm always going to go 1 minus that value, which is this, which is that percent. Okay? So then the last question is, what if you want to be in the top 15%, only the top 15% are going to be admitted? What kind of score would you need? In this situation, you kind of go in reverse. So 15% is 0.15. You're going to do 1 minus that, which is this. Find the z value for that over here, and it's 1.04. And so what you're going to do, see, that's your z-score. And now we want to know, well, what score would you have if the mean or the average is 21 and the standard deviation is this, if that's your z-score? So to solve this, you cross multiply. This times this goes over here. This part is there. Of course, you add 21 to both sides. You move the 21 over and you do that arithmetic. So 1.04 times 5.4 plus 21 equals x. You get 26.6. So you'd have to have 26.6, but I don't think the ACT does decimals like that. So we're going to go ahead and round up and say, well, you'd have to have a 27. Because a 26 wouldn't do it. It needs to be 26.6. So I think we should probably round up and call it 27, because I don't think they give decimal ACT scores. So 27. Hope that helps.